What's up everyone? I'm just going to do a little guide on Overdrive. I've been getting a handful of questions on how I set up for it and how I maintain my Overdrive throughout a battle. So first let me go over skills. As far as skills are concerned, I only have one important skill that I always use, which is Hellhound. This extends the Overdrive duration. You also have other skills that you can use like this, TP Overdrive. It boosts TP by 150 when using an art while in Overdrive. This is a very helpful skill. But a lot of times I run this build, run Overdrive with nothing but Hellhound. But that's because I'm trying to max all my classes right now, so I don't always have many skill slots to use. And there's a variety of other skills that will help with TP management. Next, let's look at my arts. In this build, I have Primer. This increases TP by 200. I have True Stream Edge. This increases TP by 80 when at morale level 1 or higher. I have Tornado Blade, which this doesn't really come into play until later on once I'm already well into Overdrive. This increases TP by 80 when I have an aura active, which in this build is Offensive Stance. Then I have Violent Streak, which increases TP by 70 when landing a critical hit. I will probably switch that out. I want to switch that out to 0-0 when I get this, or 0-0. Increases TP by 20 when triggering a melee combo, so I could run something like True Stream Edge, Tornado Blade, and then 0-0. And that would be more consistent than relying on critical hits from Violent Streak. Okay, so how I would basically run this build, let's say you're about to go into Overdrive for your first time, and let's say you have only 3000 TP. Once you go into Overdrive, you're going to be out of TP, so the first priority you have is to get 3000 more TP back so that you can keep Overdrive going. What I'm going to do is go in here and put on Primer. That's going to give me 200 TP plus the 150 TP from the skill I have equipped. Then I'm going to go to Violent Streak, which will increase my TP by 70 when landing a critical hit. Obviously I'll do that after putting on Critical Power, which will help me. And then I will go to True Stream Edge, one of my main TP building skills. And I can use these other skills as I feel like using them, but Tornado Blade won't be helpful for me right away because I don't have Offensive Stance on. And of course, I'm not going to use Blossom Dance because that uses TP. I'm going to save that for later once I have built up a good amount of TP and over limit time, or Overdrive time, sorry. Burning Slash I can just kind of throw in the mix as I feel like it. It's not really going to help. I mean, it will give me the 150 TP, but it's not a main TP management skill. So I'm going to basically be cycling between Primer, Violent Streak, and True Stream Edge as my main TP building abilities. Alright, so once I get up to 3000 TP, when I have Overdrive up, first I want to ask how much bar do I have left on my Overdrive. If I have more than half of my bar left, then I'm gonna go for a chain. I'm gonna do like Primer, and then True Stream Edge, Tornado Blade, Burning Slash, Blossom Dance. And after all that, I'm gonna probably rebuild the 1000 TP I just used on Blossom Dance. Now let's say you're running out of Overdrive, you're under half. I'm just gonna keep building more TP, and I'm gonna get ready to activate Overdrive again once it gets low, or once I hit my TP cap. So once I activate Overdrive for a second time, my duration is gonna be much longer. You know, the higher the hit count you have, the longer the duration is each activation. So you want to build that hit count as much as you can during that first activation, which Tornado Blade and True Stream Edge are really good for building the hit count. Burning Slash, not really. Violent Streak is decent too. So once I get my second Overdrive activation off and I have a good duration, I'm going to start doing my stuff. I'm going to get Offensive Stance up, get Primer up, and then I'm going to start going through my full rotation. True Stream Edge, Tornado Blade, Burning Slash, and Blossom Dance. And just to let you know, in the middle of all this, you're going to be keeping Ghostwalker up. I'm not really talking about this, but Ghostwalker is really important, at least for the build I'm running in when I'm fighting strong enemies. So don't neglect Ghostwalker. I'm just not talking about it because it's not really important to the TP management or the offensive part. But basically, when Ghostwalker fills up, you use it and then you start doing your chains. You drop everything. When Ghostwalker is available to use, you drop everything you're doing to put Ghostwalker up, unless you know that you can finish it off. Like, let's say that Ghostwalker comes up and I'm in the last hit, like I'm about at Burning Slash. I'm like, alright, I'll just throw out Blossom Dance and then I'll go to Ghostwalker so I don't ruin my combo. But basically, you want to, when you see Ghostwalker pop up, you kind of want to drop everything for Ghostwalker. So keep Ghostwalker up throughout all this, and then do all the stuff I've been talking about. Like I was saying, after the second Overdrive activation, I'm gonna have a lot more duration, and so I can start focusing on mounting the offense. You know, having my aura, going through my combo, etc. When you have a higher hit count and you use certain abilities like Primer, like green abilities, those ones with the green colors, or if you use auras, you will actually build Overdrive meter back the higher your hit count is. Once you hit Overdrive max, you will basically never run out of Overdrive, because each time you put up like Primer or Ghostwalker or offensive stance, you're gonna get a huge amount of Overdrive bar back. So it's almost impossible to run out of Overdrive if you can hit Overdrive max. And that's basically it as far as the setup and the rotation. So next, I'm gonna go into a battle. Let me go into a battle. I'm just gonna kind of pause and then move to a battle area and then resume the video. So that's it for this portion. Okay, everyone. Alright, now I'm gonna go into a battle here. I'm just gonna do the global Nemesis mission, and then I'm gonna basically run my Overdrive setup and kind of talk about what I'm doing and why I'm choosing each skill I choose throughout the process, or I should say art. Okay, so first, let's get close to him. Alright, so let's put up my stuff. Primer and Ghostwalker. Alright, so we activate, and let's start building TP. So we want to get, our objective right now is to get to 3000 TP. Just throwing out my stuff. Ghostwalker came up, so I'm going to put Ghostwalker back up. Right now I have 3000 TP and I have about half duration left. So I'm just gonna wait it out. I'm not in any rush right now, so let's just. Now we're gonna activate the next over limit. Now this is where I'm gonna start doing this stuff. Let's put Ghostwalker up, and I'm gonna put my aura up, offensive stance, and now I'm gonna start going through my combo. And it's very smooth selling from this point. Very, like, unless I just kind of mess up, nothing can really go wrong at this point. I would just kind of react to this stuff. So offensive stance lasts long enough for me to get 2 combo chains off. So after this combo chain, I'm gonna have to refresh offensive stance. So let's do Ghostwalker, let's do Primer, offensive stance, and then let's go back through the combo. I'm almost at Overdrive max, and now I'm at Overdrive max. Basically at this point, it's smooth selling. I'm just gonna keep going through the motions, keep my buffs up. You can see the huge amount of meter I'm getting back each time I use my green moves and my aura. So see, my Overdrive is pretty set, and I have like max TP. I have 7000 TP, so I can freely use my TP abilities as I like. I mean, that's about it, really. The hardest part of Overdrive is that initial burst, because you're working possibly with little resources and little time to make something happen. So in that initial burst, you just have to be ready. You have to do what you have to do to get the meter up, or get your TP up, sorry, so that you can start your next series of Overdrive. And then once you get a high hit count, it just becomes easier and easier to keep the overdrive. So as you can see right here, I'm really just going through the motions. I'm just literally cycling through the same series of actions. So I guess what I would want to say is that first you're gonna want to set up your management. You're gonna want to make a plan. You want to say, hey, this skill is either for damage, this skill is gonna help with TP, etc., etc. Make sure all your skills, your arts, make sure everything works with your build and it works with the overdrive. You know, whether it's gonna be your damage or it's gonna be helping with the TP. Just make sure all your abilities and stuff have a purpose. That initial overdrive activation is very important. Very important to make sure that you're going to be able to keep the overdrive going for the rest of the fight. I mean, there's not really much more I can say than that. Just saying the same thing in different words at this point. Because as you can see, the point I'm at right now is very effortless. Just cycling through my combos, and I don't really have to worry about running out of overdrive. What I do recommend as far as overdrive builds, let me just talk a little bit about like the kind of builds you can run. You can run Ghostwalker builds, which is what I've been running. Ghostwalker builds are pretty much the kind of builds you're gonna run that help you steamroll like exceptionally strong enemies, like well over your strength. Now, there are some enemies that you're just not going to be able to abuse Ghostwalker against, like enemies that attack way too fast, and they can eat through your decoy, but there's a fair amount of enemies in this game that you can just really straight up cheese. Like you see right now, the global nemesis enemy can't really do anything about my Ghostwalker. His rate of attack is just way too slow to deal with Ghostwalker. So I'm basically immortal in this process. So you know, you can look into Ghostwalker builds, but if you're not running Ghostwalker builds, then you're gonna want to look for some defensive options in your build, whether it's through the arts and skills you pick, or whether it's through your gear. You know, like you could take stuff that restores HP when you use arts and stuff like that. Because obviously when you're in overdrive, you're gonna be throwing out arts at a much faster rate. So you can look into stuff like that. It's gonna allow you to restore HP through art usage and stuff like that. Which I will be showing more builds like that. You know, I'll be stepping away from the Ghostwalker stuff so that I can kind of, because Ghostwalker is definitely fun, but you know, obviously you want to maybe play the game a different way. You don't want to feel like you have to rely entirely on dual guns, Ghostwalker, and stuff like that. So I will definitely be showing off some more builds that utilize a more varied playstyle. But I think Ghostwalker is one of the. It's a really good initiator into taking down strong enemies and learning how to use overdrive. Because basically, if you don't run overdrive right, you're pretty screwed with the Ghostwalker build. Because you're not really gonna have. I don't really have that. Ghostwalker is basically my entire defense, and if I don't keep Ghostwalker up and active at all times, then I'm basically dead meat against any substantial. And it's only possible to abuse Ghost Walker to this extent when you're in Overdrive. You know, outside of Overdrive, it has a massive cooldown. I think what you just saw right there, I believe, is an attack that eats through decoy or something. I don't know. I mean, every time I fought this guy, he kind of manages to kill me at the very end. I don't know if that's an attack that can go through decoy or what, but yeah. I think I'm probably gonna look more into it, but I think there might be some attacks that beat decoy. So you can see right there, I did 62 life bars of damage to him. And get all my different rewards. That's pretty much it, really. I mean, I've pretty much given you guys all the important info at this point. I just wanted to finish off the mission. Let me see what I can exchange. Global Nemesis battle spoils. You can trade all this in for reward tickets. And that's pretty much it. If you guys have any more questions beyond what I talked about here, just feel free to let me know. But I would say I covered a good deal of what you need to know about playing Overdrive and utilizing it. You know, it's really important to have a plan and a series of moves that flow together. You know, take the time to read the descriptions of all your abilities. Try to have moves that work together. You know, all the arts in my skill bar, they all work together. They're not just there to just be there. They all work together and they have some part in the build. So that's what's really important, is just making sure you don't have any like random moves on your bar just to have them there. Make sure everything works with something else. So that's pretty much it. See you guys later.